5 years ago, my grandfather started developing a severe cough. He went to his doctor, and the doctor told him he had an upper respiratory problem.
My older brother was working in a sawmill last summer and never wore earmuffs. Now when you get into his truck, he has the radio up so loud you can't even hear the engine.
My dad had sunspots removed from his ears and arms 2 years ago. He never wore a hat or sunscreen when he was out cutting hay.
Do these stories have a familiar tone? Stories like these are very common if you're involved in agriculture. I'm Karen Rios, representing the Rice FFA chapter, and today my partners and I are going to talk to you about some very important farm safety issues. Generally, when we think of farm safety, we think of how to prevent tractor rollovers or grain storage tank deaths. But today, we're going to discuss some much more common, though just as dangerous, farm safety issues. Sun, respiratory, and hearing safety. Here with me today are Shaquille Fields and Hagen Barlow to bring you our monthly broadcast. Today's topic is the hidden dangers of farm safety. Hagen, think about the last time you worried about putting on sunscreen. More than likely it was back when you were at the beach as a little kid and your mom was yelling at you to put it on. Working in agriculture often calls for being outside for extended periods of time. This causes many workers to be exposed to the dangerous UV rays of the sun. Taking a few minutes to put on sunscreen can save a lot of exposure from the sun that can be damaging to your skin. Hopefully, by now, people are aware that skin cancer is linked to excessive sun exposure. According to the American Cancer Society, 600,000 cases of skin cancer occur every year in the United States. Out of the 600,000 cases, an estimated 8,200 end in death. In 2009, the Journal of American Academy of Dermatology reported that 2.8 million cases of skin cancer occur or treated in 2005. Farmers are definitely prone to excessive sun exposure, especially between the hours of 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. when UV rays are at their strongest. They should do their best to avoid sun exposure during this time.
Hagen, avoiding sun exposure is impossible for most agricultural workers, and if you have to be outside during those hours, there are several methods of prevention. One is to wear proper clothing. Wear long-sleeve shirts, pants, and wide-brim hats to protect your face and neck. Also wear sunscreen. Apply sunscreen of at least SPF 15 to all areas that are exposed to the sun before you go outside for the day. Take the sunscreen with you so it can be reapplied all day when needed. Also, just because it is cloudy outside doesn't mean you can't get burnt.
Karen, one other problem facing many agricultural workers today is hearing loss. Many farmers and other workers need to realize the importance of noise hazards. Sound is created by anything that causes pressure waves in the air, so the different wave sizes or frequencies are formed by different levels of shock to the air. This unwanted sound is called noise. OSHA standards consider sound measured at 85 decibels or higher is damaging to the eardrum and therefore a risk to hearing. A decibel is the unit of measurement that all sound is measured by. Normal talk level, like we're doing now, is around 60 decibels. A tractor at idle engine is around 85 decibels, and a lawnmower at full throttle is 90 decibels. A chainsaw, on the other hand, is around 100 decibels, while a shotgun blast can be as loud as 140 decibels. Shaquille, hearing loss is usually gradual, meaning it occurs over time. Many older farmers have developed hearing problems over time, but some studies have shown that farmers and other agricultural workers may experience substantial hearing loss by the age of 30. A recent study by a farm clinic found that 70% of the farmers getting hearing tests were below normal for their age. Nearly 1/3 of the farmers tested had hearing loss to the degree that a hearing aid was necessary.
The easiest way to protect your hearing is to cut down on the number of hours that you are exposed to the noise level. After that, you may want to go to earplugs or earmuffs. Earmuffs can reduce noise up to as much as 25 decibels, while earplugs can reduce noise up to 30 decibels. Earmuffs actually cover the entire ear and ear canal. They do not block out all sound, so conversation is still possible. Earplugs are made to fit snugly into the ear opening. These provide better protection and are cheaper, but must be kept clean and sanitized. Do not share earplugs with others, as ear infection can be spread this way.
Karen, while agriculture workers are often outside much of the day, the air they breathe isn't always fresh. They work in conditions that are perfect for the growth of dangerous microorganisms. They are often exposed to dust from grains and animals that contain large amounts of hazardous molds and bacteria. Think about it. If you've ever been to a feedlot, hog barn, or poultry house, gases from manure and fermented silage such as ammonia and hydrogen sulfide, can pose a danger to your respiratory system. Pesticides are also released into the air and breathed in by people who work around them. Exposure to any of these breathing hazards can pose a long-term health risk to farm workers. They can develop any number of respiratory difficulties such as asthma, farmer's lung, and organic dust toxicity syndrome.
In fact, according to the National Rural Health Association, farmers have the highest rate of disabilities from respiratory conditions when compared to other occupations. When dealing in hazardous conditions, a respirator is a perfect fit. Respirators come in many shapes and sizes, so it's important that you get the right one for the job you're doing. You also need to make sure that the respirator has 2 straps, fits your face tightly, and is approved by the National Institute of Occupational Safety and Health.
Today we have discussed some much more common farm safety issues that face many farm and ranch workers each day and how you can prevent these things from happening to you. Remember that you still have to stay safe in the sun. Protect your hearing and respiratory system to maintain your level of comfort on the farm.
We hope that you have enjoyed today's program and that we have convinced you that farm safety is no day in the sun. This is Karen Rios, reporter for the Rice FFA chapter, concluding our regular monthly broadcast. We invite you to tune in next month when we discuss the feral hog problem facing many Texas counties.